And we are live. It's another great day for Cribble TV. So just lots and lots of fun. I have Steve from Pegasystems here today. We're going to talk about his presentation for CriblCon. Just can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun discussion, and I can't wait to hear what Steve has to say at CriblCon. So as a preview, Steve, you want to go to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Steve Tyland. I am the Senior Director of Security Operations at Pegasystems.
So can you tell me a little bit about what does Pegasystems do?
Pegasystems is a back office process workflow automation, AI decisioning. It's one of those systems that you may not have heard of us, but I guarantee you probably used us. So
I love that. That's one of the best parts about this job to find out about all these companies that everyone uses every day, but they just probably don't know it. It's always fun to figure this out and just and see what you're doing because it's the kind of thing that's moving the American economy along. Whether people know about it or not. So tell me, so when did you start looking at Cribble?
we looked at Cribl probably 3 years ago. Weren't really sure we needed it initially. To be honest, we were confident that we could filter out enough logs on our own, and then realized that maybe we can't. Maybe there's an easier way. So we took another look at Cribl and ended up going with Cribl Stream is where we started with.
Nice. And so, what was the business problem? Was it just escalating costs, or did you have any other business challenges? Like, was data quality also an issue?
I mean, the main reason was truly just log ingestion. To throw some numbers at you, we were pushing about 2.4 terabytes of logs. And every year I had to go back to finance and say, I need more ingest on my sim. I need more ingest. And really after putting Cribl in, we put it in for 30 days and realized how much we were actually pushing because we thought we were pushing less. But we had a triple our license. But to be honest, Cribl paid for itself instantly because we went from that 2.4 terabytes of ingestion to 800 gigs going out to our sim.
Wow.
So it was a drastic reduction in redundant and unneeded logs that we just didn't need. So
You can't beat that. So, how much time did it take you to get that done with Cribble?
actually, the migration wasn't too bad. We had a whole bunch of regex that we had defined in our ingestion before, and when we moved over, we actually lifted those all out and just put it into pre-processing in Cribl. So that took a good chunk, got us right back to where we were, so we're even. And then we started applying Cribl packs and really diving into them and looking at them for probably our biggest log sources, which were Palo Alto and Zscaler, were the two main sources, and then CrowdStrike. So a lot of those logs went even further down just by putting those packs in.
That's great. And why I want to ask about time is that I was one of Cribble's first customers, and it really struck me how much faster my team was able to get things done, make changes to data. Once we had Cribble in place, it was 50, 60, 70% faster with Cribble than without. Can you see, did you see something similar to that with your team, or was your experience more of the same before and after?
No, it was. I agree with you. It was definitely faster because the nice thing with Cribl is you can take some logs, you can take a sample, you can see what your impact's going to be right away. You don't have to wait for them to get all the way to the sim and be like, well, did that regex work? Did it show up right? Did that log come in correctly? You could literally do all that work and see it right away, very quickly. So we were able to do that and have, even before we sent it out. I mean, we didn't even have to send out the logs to the destination initially as we were filtering and playing. So
That's great, and just that speed of being able to make changes is so important. I mean, imagine you're like with many companies, you don't have a lot of spare engineering cycles.
what are those?
Yeah, and it's a huge issue because there's more work than ever, and there's a real reluctance to hire. And so anything that you can do to automate processes is incredibly important.
Yeah, and honestly, management just thinks the logs just get there. There's no work. It just you point them there and you got all your logs. It's magic.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm always struck by that because you'll put all this, and as we have this conversation on like data strategy quite a bit, companies will put an enormous amount of time and energy behind their BI data, but somehow your security and IT data is not considered business data, so it doesn't get the same amount of focus and understanding of what's happening here.
Right. And when you really start to look at your logs that you're pulling in, there's a lot of redundancy across systems.
Yes.
And that's what we were able to find with Cribl and then filter out. So
I think that's a good way to. So, would you characterize that as that visibility had a lot of value?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were able to see, and then we could see, oh, we're getting these logs from this source as well as this source. We don't need them in both.
Right.
So then we were able to just filter it out. So
I was working with a customer, and that was something very similar. They put Cribl in place, and because they were able to see all their data sources so clearly, they were able to understand that some of their core firewalls were misconfigured because they were able to say, "Hey, you have 10 core firewalls. 5 of them are logging dramatically different than the other 5." And that visibility of being able to see it was a big value for them.
yeah, I think the biggest thing that we saw, honestly, still firewall related, is that we could put a worker node. We're an international company, right? So we're around the world. We have firewalls and data centers around the world. We could put a Cribl worker node next to the firewall, and it would automatically pull those logs. We got rid of our duplication issue that we were having when they were all forwarded. So now Cribl was doing all that work for us, right? You would send to the local Cribl worker node. It would send it up to your SIM. It was all deduped, everything, and we were ready to go. We didn't even do any work. We just put Cribl there. So
Yeah, you can't beat that. And as I mentioned, just engineering time is such a finite constraint that anything you can do to just make it easier is a blessing.
absolutely.
So have you started doing any kind of work on data quality, improving your data in order to help with your detection process?
We did a little bit. One of the few things, if you use CrowdStrike, they give you this wonderful AID, which is their own internal ID, but nobody hunts by AID. They hunt by computer name. So
Right.
we actually would enhance our logs from CrowdStrike by adding in the computer name during ingest. So they were already in the searches, no extra lookups. It sped up searches down the road as well.
Nice. So what are you using for your SIM?
We are, well, funny you brought that up. We are migrating from Splunk to CrowdStrike.
Oh, great. Yeah. So CrowdStrike's next gen SIM or log scale?
Next gen SIM.
Nice. Yeah, that's something that's been very common. I really enjoyed I'm watching CrowdStrike with how they're maturing the next gen SIM platform very rapidly.
Yeah, and honestly, we wouldn't be able to do that migration if it wasn't for Cribl. Because one, no cost at all, just duplicate the output, send it to CrowdStrike. I will say CrowdStrike is a lot pickier on its ingest than Splunk is. So we could do all that work in the Cribl specific output stream, destination stream, and tweak the fields, tweak the timestamps, get it all set, and the logs would just go into CrowdStrike at that point. So
Yeah, and that's the thing I love. I had to do that so many times myself, and that ability to maintain what you're doing in your existing SIM, but also fork your data over to your new SIM. It makes it so much easier to set up your content because I think that's something, especially with a new SIM, content validation is such a challenge.
yeah, and having all the logs go to both, it really allowed us the time to play around in CrowdStrike. It's newer, it's different, new queries, but we could see all the same data in both SIMs, and then we knew what we were getting, and we just had to tweak our searches. So
Yeah, absolutely. It takes the risk away, makes the migration go a lot faster. So it's a real blessing because I think it's very underrated at the complexity of SIM migrations.
yeah, I find it interesting looking back. CrowdStrike caused us to change our Cribl to go from Cribl on-prem to CriblCloud. And that's because we learned that, with getting CrowdStrike, FDR, So we're getting those logs. They're all sent to S3, and we have to pull them.
Right.
And when you do that with Cribl, you're really working the leader node because it has to check for new logs, tell the workers to get it.
Yep.
They tell them there's new logs, then the leader then tells the workers to go get them. And we realized that we didn't have HA on our leader node. So we really tried to get HA available. We couldn't get it to work on-prem. It just didn't work. It wouldn't come up. It wouldn't fill over correctly, which was fine. We ended up moving to Cribl.Cloud, and the first thing we did is just put our leader in Cribl.Cloud, which gave us HA. You guys take care of it. We don't have to worry about it. And then we got other improvements, like we could stick our worker nodes in the cloud next to S3 instead of all the way bringing it all the way internally. So then we can send it back up to the cloud. So that helped, and then it paid back. Cribl paid us back by helping us with our SIM migration to CrowdStrike. So
can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I mean, it's a great story. So I really appreciate you sharing your story. So do you want to give maybe the audience a preview of what you're going to talk about in your CriblCon presentation?
Yeah, so it's really going to be the first half of our Cribl journey. It's really going to be why we got Cribl, why we needed it, and that's that data, filter, data reduction. And then it's the issues we had with Cribl Stream, and that was more around HA and trying to get that to work, and then how we solved that, and then some of the benefits we saw immediately right after moving to Cribl.Cloud with no downtime, mind you. It was a pretty simple transition.
Yeah, that's the best part about that flexibility. So are you looking to use any other Cribl products outside of Cribl Stream?
We do now. We do use Cribl Edge. So we have completely replaced our Splunk infrastructure. No heavy forwarders, no universal forwarders. It's all Cribl worker nodes and Cribl Edge. Which the nice thing is they can all be centrally managed and updated without us having to re-update all of our 220 universal forwarders. So
yeah. You can't beat that. That's again, that's time. That's time your engineers don't have to spend on those tasks.
Yeah, and that's Cribl not only saved us in data ingest costs in our SIM, but it does save us a lot of time in getting there. And now the whole plumbing is just on Cribl, and it works very well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's going to be great. I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to your presentation. So is there anything else that you want to share about your experience? Anything else? If anyone in the audience has questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Do you have any ideas about what you're going to do with Cribl in the future?
I'm really looking forward to CriblCon to see where you guys are going. Every year I've been to the first two, so I've been to all your CriblCons, and I will be there again this year, obviously, because I'm doing my session. But every year you guys have come out with something new. It's always something I look forward to using. The first year was, Cribl.Cloud.
Sure.
It took us a bit to get there, and then Cribl Lake. I still haven't gotten there yet, but we are looking at it. We did throw this SIM migration in place instead of tweaking our SIM and throwing some logs to Lake instead of the SIM. But I think that'll come in the next year.
Yeah, I think it'll be really great. And that's the thing is like the idea is you start as you have a new need, you now have a set of options. And so that way you just don't have to, go through a long, complex task. And that's where Lake can be really great, especially if you have retention, compliance, some sort of data that's low value, but you need to retain. So it's a great place to put that kind of data. And it's just really simple. You're pushing a button, it's already built into Stream. And so you can start using the application with very little overhead.
Yeah, and we've been playing with Cribl Search just for metrics, to be honest, right now. But we can easily connect that to our S3 stores or Lake directly, and then search there without even needing the SIM. So I think that'll help with our forensics down the road versus storing that data. Like you said, it's needed. Maybe not for your initial alerts or detections, but definitely for forensics. So we can kind of split those up.
Yeah, make sure you, with Cribl Search, try out the AI features. I think it makes things so much easier in order to access data, and especially for users who may not be experts. And so it's a great set of features.
No, sounds good.
Lots of fun. So, do you have any closing remarks? Anything else you want to share before we end our session?
I mean, not really, except, Cribl's done well for us. I want to give back and tell people my journey. It wasn't perfect, but we got there. Like I said, we had a few little issues, but we ended up in a better place at the end. It's paid for itself, to be honest, just in our ROI. And I look forward to seeing anybody else at CriblCon and answering anybody's questions.
That's outstanding. So yeah, I can't thank you enough for joining a live stream. I can't wait to see you at CriblCon. So I'm going to share a little bit of information with the audience about CriblCon, and then we will close everything out.
Awesome.
All right. So for the uninitiated, we have CriblCon. This is Cribl's first standalone user event. We're going to have a full day of training. We're going to have 2 days of sessions, including Steve's, October 13th to the 15th at National Harbor. For many existing Cribl customers, you already have free tickets. So check with your reps if you don't, or go to Cribl.io/CriblCon and select the reserve your space option. We're looking forward to you being there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see everybody. So Steve, I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Bye.